After being laid off, I quickly found a new job. Being the daughter-in-law of a wealthy family, living in a mansion, driving a luxury car, without having to do household chores or bear children, and receiving $1 million allowance every month. Oh, I forgot to mention. My husband is a vegetable. Before getting the marriage certificate, the lady of the house asked me to think it through carefully. I'm against marriage. Marrying a vegetable means living like a widow, which is almost the same as being unmarried, plus $1 million every month. What's there to consider? This is practically my ideal life. You have to understand, when I go to work every day, I'm worn out like a dog, and after deductions for social insurance and housing fund, I barely take home 4,000 yuan. As long as my vegetative husband doesn't wake up, I can do this job until I die. I obediently lowered my head and said, no need to consider. Having a gentle and beautiful mother like you is such a blessing. Because of my sweet talk, the wealthy woman immediately gifted me a Porsche. I was so moved that tears welled up. My little electric scooter could finally retire with honor. Then I followed the wealthy lady to a luxurious mansion and couldn't help laughing at my own poverty, while also sighing with emotion. No wonder the female leads in novels always get lost. Who wouldn't in a place like this? Later, I'd have to ask the butler for directions. When I saw the sleeping beauty lying on the bed, my cement-sealed heart instantly cracked open. Exquisitely refined features, like a masterpiece sculpted by the goddess Nuwa herself. The wealthy lady introduced, "This is my son, Jasper." I nodded, appearing as calm as an old dog, but in reality, the little deer in my heart was about to crash into a stupor. So handsome, even more so than those male celebrities. How impressive it would be to show off such a husband. The only shame was that he couldn't be taken out, he'd have to be carried out. The wealthy woman briefly explained the current situation to me. Jasper's father passed away many years ago. Jasper had always been outstanding until he became a vegetable after a car accident. After the wealthy woman left, I sat on the bed and reached out to touch Jasper's face. TSK, this little face is so smooth and tender. Come on, hubby, give me a kiss. Suddenly, I noticed his eyelid twitch slightly, but upon a closer look, it seemed like my imagination. Maybe my astigmatism made me see things. Jasper has professional caregivers looking after him, so there's not much for me to do. My main tasks consist of buttering up my mother-in-law, keeping an eye out for any abnormalities in Jasper, and occasionally taking advantage of minor perks. The rest of my time is mine to use as I please. From then on, I began living the lavish life of a wealthy widow, carrying LV bags as I pleased, with my wardrobe filled exclusively with designer dresses. In my free time, I'd take my best friend out for drives in my Porsche. She often said she was glad I hadn't abandoned her back when I was driving a little electric scooter. My mother-in-law treated me exceptionally well, frequently showering me with gifts. Feeling indebted, I could only repay her by being more proactive, regularly helping to clean Jasper's body. Strangely enough, even after lying in bed for nearly 2 years, Jasper still had those 8-pack abs and that sculpted V-line. When even a comatose patient maintains such fitness, how are those out-of-shape guys supposed to cope? As I wiped Jasper's body, I couldn't help but think how unfair it was for someone so handsome to end up in a vegetative state. Folks, who can understand the frustration of seeing something you can't have? Even the girl next door would be drooling over him. After finishing his upper body, I stared at his pants, feeling conflicted. As a single woman, it didn't seem quite appropriate. But then I remembered, he's my lawful husband, so there's nothing inappropriate about it. So, I reached out to take off his pants. Probably from holding the same position too long, my hand trembled. I was dumbfounded. My hands were dirty. The next second, Jasper suddenly sat bolt upright. OMG, I was so terrified that I scrambled off the bed. Aren't princes supposed to be woken by a kiss? How come mine woke up from being touched? Jasper glared at me with a cold, fierce gaze as if he wanted to throw me out the window. Are you kidding me? I've only received 1 month's salary from this million-yuan job, and I haven't even earned enough yet, and now you're awake. Honey, could you please lie back down? I don't want to lose my job. I kept griping inwardly, but on the surface, I had to stick to the script of the devoted wife. Honey, it's so wonderful that you're awake. I'll go tell Mom right away. Jasper called out to me, stop. I abruptly halted and turned to look at him. Jasper asked, are you called Scarlett? I nodded, also your wife. As soon as I finished speaking, a voice echoed in my mind. Where did my mom find this ugly and stupid woman? I opened my eyes wide, it felt like seeing a ghost. I swear I could hear his thoughts. Calling me stupid is one thing, but attacking my beauty? That's crossing the line. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm moved to tears by my own stunning reflection. I studied him up and down. No matter how I looked at him, he didn't seem like someone who had just woken up from a vegetative state. Were you already awake and just pretending to be in a coma? At least you're not completely clueless. I let out a relieved sigh, my job was safe for now. Then why were you faking a coma? Jasper remained expressionless. You don't need to know the reason. Just remember, you can't tell anyone about this. My affairs, who cares if a dumb woman like you knows? This time, I could be absolutely certain I was hearing his inner thoughts. But of course, nothing good ever came out of that dog's mouth. Why should I listen to you? Jasper stared at me coldly. Don't you want your 1 million a month salary anymore? Yes, yes, yes. I made a zipping motion over my lips, I promised to keep my mouth shut. And so, Jasper and I reached an agreement, he would continue pretending to be in a vegetative state, and I would cover for him so he could keep receiving his salary. But honestly, waking up might have been worse than staying unconscious because it came with a ton of trouble. Like having to pick out fish bones for him at meals, keeping his water at exactly 37 degrees, or him being unable to sleep if there was even a single crease in the sheets. The princess and the pea would have been less troublesome than him. After a week, my resentment was heavier than a ghost's. That night, as I was sleeping soundly, he woke me up again. I want dumplings. With my eyes closed, I brushed him off, got it. I'll have the servants make some when I wake up tomorrow. Jasper insisted, I want them now. And I want you to make them. I glanced at my phone impatiently. At this hour? Even the cows are asleep, and you want me to make dumplings for you? I turned over and ignored him. Not going. Who eats dumplings this late at night? Annoying guy. Just then, a pleasant chime rang, *100,000 yuan received, *. I snapped my eyes open immediately, flashing a servile smile as I asked in a syrupy sweet voice, honey, what filling would you like? He's truly the little prince loved by all. Just as I was feeling happy, I heard his inner voice. Humph, money-grubbing thing. I'm holding it in. Once I've earned enough money, I'll kick you to the curb. Jasper said calmly, pork and cabbage filling. So simple and unpretentious. I smiled obsequiously, right away. Then I got up to make dumplings. Fortunately, the fridge was fully stocked with all the ingredients I needed, so I took them out and started wrapping. In the dead of night, the young master suddenly craved pork and cabbage dumplings, how novel. The world of the rich is beyond me. Jasper ate one bowl, while I polished off two. After finishing, I took the dishes downstairs and came back to find Jasper doing push-ups, which made me blush. No wonder he has those abs and V-lines, he's been working out in secret. Let's be honest, I'm totally into his body. Jasper glanced up at me, wipe your drool. I coughed lightly and wiped the drool from the corner of my mouth, no vigorous exercise after meals, you know. Jasper stood up and walked past me, a voice drifting through my mind. Not just a money grubber but also a pervert, huh? My blood pressure instantly spiked, and I pushed him down onto the bed. Jasper froze. What do you think you're doing? I threw the marriage certificate from the drawer in front of him. We have the license to do this. Jasper was shocked. Scarlett, are you crazy? Just as I was about to put on a bold and aggressive act, my phone rang. It was my best friend, crying her heart out because she had just gone through a breakup. I quickly got off Jasper and picked up my phone to comfort my friend. After all, good looks and such are nothing but fleeting illusions. The next day, while I was giving Jasper a French massage with my 100,000 yuan reward in hand, my mother-in-law walked in with a middle-aged man. Turns out it was her younger brother, Jasper's uncle. The company had been handed over to him for management after Jasper's car accident. With a solemn expression, he asked, "How has Jasper been doing lately?" A voice echoed in Jasper's mind, "Stupid woman, hurry up and say my condition is bad." I sighed, still the same. The doctor came the other day and said the chances of waking up are slim. Then I took Jasper's hand, "Honey, you must wake up." As I spoke, tears as big as beans rolled down my cheeks. I admired my own acting skills. Although I didn't know why Jasper was pretending to be in a vegetative state, I had a feeling there was more to it. My mother-in-law also cried, holding my hand as she slipped the gold bracelet from her wrist onto mine. "Good child, with you by Jasper's side, he will surely wake up." I looked at the gold bracelet and instantly couldn't cry anymore, only nodding vigorously, "I will." My mother-in-law is so kind, yet Jasper pretended to be a vegetable to deceive her, how unfilial. After they left, I asked Jasper, "Do you not get along with your uncle?" Jasper was indifferent. "Don't pry into things you shouldn't." I glared at him. As if I was dying to know. "If you don't want me to help you put on this act, then don't ask." Jasper pointed to his leg. "Keep going." The thought that my life of luxury depended on him forced me to continue the massage. Once the massage was done, Jasper bossed me again. "Go make a cup of black coffee." I spread out my hand, "Pay more." All she cares about is money. Has this woman fallen into a pile of cash? Still, Jasper transferred the money to me. Looking at the balance in my account, I grinned with delight. Just a few more months of enduring humiliation, and I can coast through the rest of my life. "Thanks, darling." Jasper scowled. "Speak properly." "Thank you, boss." After barely 2 days of rest, Jasper started acting up again, asking me to take him outside to bask in the sun. Though it's understandable, he's been bedridden for 2 years, it'd be a miracle if he wasn't moldy by now. I found a wheelchair and took him out. As we walked, I started feeling thirsty, so I leaned in and whispered in his ear, "Just sit here by yourself. I'm going to buy some water." There was a small shop ahead. I walked over, asked the clerk for a bottle of water, and just as I stepped out, I noticed 2 suspicious-looking men standing near Jasper. My heart tightened, and I quickly rushed back, grabbing a brick along the way and hurling it at them. "Dare touch him, and I'll fight you to the death." After all, he was my financier, not a single hair on his head could be harmed. The 2 men immediately fled at the sight of me. I looked down, inspecting Jasper from head to toe. He seemed fine, except for the tips of his ears, which were flushed red. This silly woman seems to really care about me, she's not as annoying as I thought. "Nonsense, you're my cash cow, who else would I care about?" Afraid something might happen again, I pushed Jasper back home. Once home, I had the maid take Jasper upstairs first, then I ate the bird's nest soup my mother-in-law had prepared. These wealthy folks really know how to indulge, no wonder my mother-in-law maintains her looks so well. After finishing, I went back upstairs. Just as I reached the door, I heard Jasper inside on the phone. "When did Aurora come back?" The name Aurora sounds so familiar. I soon remembered where I'd heard it before. A few days ago, I saw a photograph in Jasper's study and, out of curiosity, immediately took the frame to ask my mother-in-law about it. My mother-in-law told me her name was Aurora, that she was Jasper's childhood sweetheart and his ex-girlfriend. 2 years ago, they had an argument, and it was on his way to chase after her that Jasper got into the car accident. That childhood sweetheart is bad news, she brings him misfortune. But judging from my experience reading novels, now that the male lead's little sweetheart has returned, it won't be long before he tells me to get lost. Fine, I'll leave. I've already earned over 3 million anyway. Once he finishes his call, I'll go in, silently take out my suitcase. Jasper asked, "Where are you going?" His voice snapped me back to reality. Wait, we haven't even settled the terms of the breakup compensation yet. Why am I packing up so early? I kicked the suitcase back. Nothing, just dusting off the suitcase. Jasper said, I'm going out tonight. Be sharp and don't let my mom find out I'm not home. He must have gone to see his childhood sweetheart. Does he even still regard me as his wife? I asked angrily, how much are you going to offer me? Jasper looked at me, is there nothing else in your mind besides money? Well, yes. Could you share a few gold bars from your safe with me? This stupid woman only cares about money, why doesn't she ask where I'm going tonight? Meeting your little sweetheart, what else? Perhaps it was the thought of my impending unemployment that put me in a melancholic mood, so I dragged my best friend out to the bar at night. My mother-in-law usually sleeps early and wouldn't notice Jasper wasn't in bed. When I was about done drinking, I was getting ready to leave, but I stopped in my tracks as I passed by a private room. My eyes widened, wasn't that my dim-witted, wealthy boss? Oh wait, my husband. Though he was wearing a baseball cap, I recognized him at a glance, perhaps because he was just too dazzling. There weren't any women around him, just a man who had visited our home once before, supposedly a childhood friend of his. My best friend asked me, Scarlett, what's wrong? I said I was fine, but suddenly, a wave of heat surged through my body. Could there have been something wrong with the drink I just had? Sensing something was off, I turned to my friend and said, take me to. Before I could say the hospital, I saw Jasper walk out. My eyes locked onto his thin lips, and then, like a wild beast, I lunged at him. When I woke up, I found myself lying in my own bed, completely naked under the covers. I tried to recall what happened last night. I abruptly turned my head to look at the man still asleep beside me. He must have taken advantage of me. That bastard. Just as I was about to grab a pillow to smother Jasper's face, he woke up. I glared at him angrily, what did you do to me last night? Jasper glanced at me and said, you have the nerve to ask? Not only did you puke all over me, but I also had to take you to the hospital. We didn't get back until after 3 a.m. I was drugged, so I definitely need to be taken to the hospital to get my stomach pumped. I tightened the blanket around me, but my clothes. Jasper glanced at my exposed shoulders and quickly averted his gaze. Your best friend took them off for you, of course. I eyed him suspiciously and leaned closer. If it wasn't you who undressed me, then why is your face so red? Strange, why can't I hear his inner thoughts anymore? Logically, his emotions should be surging right now. Or could it be that it was all just in my head before? Jasper raised his hand and pushed my head away. Didn't I tell you to stay at home? And yet you still went to the bar to drink? I had no choice but to change the subject. The drink I had last night was spiked, wasn't it? Jasper gave a faint in response, his expression darkening as if lost in thought. I didn't ask further, knowing he wouldn't tell me anything anyway, always so secretive. Once I find out which bastard dared to drug me, I'll skin them alive. I grabbed my clothes and headed to the bathroom to change. When I came out, I heard Jasper say, I want dumplings. More dumplings. Why do you like dumplings so much? Jasper pursed his lips. My grandma used to make dumplings for me all the time. After she passed away, I've tried many other people's dumplings, but only yours taste the most like hers. It suddenly reminded me of my own grandma. My parents divorced when I was very young. They considered me a burden and neither wanted to take me, so they left me with my grandma. Later, they remarried separately and never cared about me again. It was as if I weren't their daughter at all. After Grandma passed away, I had no relatives left. Thinking of this, I went to make dumplings for him. When I finished making the dumplings and brought them over, I found an extra woman in the room. It was Aurora. She sat on the bed, gazing at the unconscious Jasper, crying pitifully, Jasper. What's there to cry about? He's not dead yet, just you with all your tears. I walked over and placed the dumplings on the table. Aurora looked at me, her eyes unfriendly, her expression full of disdain. I'm back, your presence is no longer needed here. In other words, she's telling me to get lost. If she liked Jasper so much, why didn't she stay to take care of him back then? An ex-girlfriend, where does she get this sense of superiority from? I didn't humor her either. Whether I'm needed or not isn't for you to decide. Aurora immediately flew into a rage. Scarlett, you're just a gold digger. Stop pretending. I sneered. Jasper and I are already married. You're the one who should leave. Aurora glared at me. Have you no shame? I crossed my arms. Nope. I'll give it to you since you clearly don't have any. Aurora didn't expect me to be so quick-witted. Furious, she raised her hand to slap me, but in the next second, her wrist was caught in a strong grip. The air froze. Aurora looked up and shouted with joy, Jasper, that's great. You're finally awake. Compared to Aurora's excitement, Jasper's expression was indifferent. I stared blankly at Jasper. Was he no longer pretending to be in a vegetative state? Aurora pointed at me and complained pitifully, Jasper, this woman bullied me. Wow. This green tea really knows how to twist the truth. Clearly, she was the one trying to hit me. Jasper withdrew his hand, catching a glimpse of a shadowy figure at the doorway out of the corner of his eye. No need to be upset. She's just the nanny my mom hired for me. My eyes widened. Jasper, you're really something, disregarding marriage laws just to win back your childhood sweetheart, huh? The marriage certificate is still in the drawer. Aurora lifted her chin, proud as a peacock. Jasper looked at me and said mercilessly, didn't you hear what Aurora said? Get out. He's kicking me out. After all the months I've taken care of him, I didn't expect him to turn on me so harshly just because his childhood sweetheart came back. Forget it, there's no point in being sad. I only married him for the money anyway. I grabbed a pillow and hurled it at him, then started packing my things. Naturally, I didn't leave behind any of the gifts my mother-in-law had given me. As I drove away, I bawled my eyes out in the car. That heartless bastard, Jasper. I used the money to buy a small apartment and planned to invest the rest in something else. My best friend, worried that I might be too heartbroken after the breakup, moved in with me. Every day, she keeps me company, cooks for me, afraid I might do something rash. But I'm fine, now I have a house and a car, men are nothing but a joke. At night, seeing me in low spirits, my best friend dragged me to a bar. This time, I've learned my lesson, I'm not drinking, I'm ordering a male escort. Bring me the most handsome male escort in your club. So what if Jasper was handsome and rich? I've got money too, all I need now is someone good-looking. When you have money, you should splurge. Soon enough, 2 male models arrived, both with good looks and great figures. One of them came and sat down beside me. I asked him, so, do you have abs? The male model smiled and said, yes. He then took my hand and placed it on his abs. My hand had barely touched them, and I hadn't even had a chance to feel anything, when, bang, the door was kicked open. Coincidentally, Jasper walked in just as my hand was resting on the male model's abs. Honestly, for a moment, I did feel guilty, but then it occurred to me, he's the one who kicked me out. Why should I feel guilty? I gave the model's abs a squeeze, putting on a performance, remarked, incredible texture. Jasper yanked me over. As our eyes met, my pulse quickened despite myself. He truly outshone that male model, whether in face or physique. Jasper growled, get out. I bent down and was about to slip past his arm when he grabbed me. Clearly, he wasn't telling me to get lost. I turned my head to look, my best friend and the 2 male models were gone. The male models were one thing, but what was up with my best friend? Running off so fast without even waiting for me. Meeting Jasper's deep, dark gaze, I nervously pursed my lips. Is it appropriate for a married woman like you to be hiring male models? This reminded me that we haven't gone through the divorce procedures yet. Was he here to discuss the settlement? Perfect, bring on the money and throw it at me. I retorted righteously, if you can rekindle things with your ex, why can't I hire male models? Jasper stared at me before finally speaking. Scarlett, I like you, so you're not allowed to like anyone else. I froze. If I understood correctly, that was a confession. But didn't he like Aurora? Playing both sides? Jasper shoved a credit card into my hand. This card has no limit, the pin is my birthday. You can spend as much as you want, but no more male escorts, got it? After hesitating, he added, I have some very important matters to attend to during this time. I'll come find you when I'm done. After saying that, he walked away. I lowered my head and stared at the card in my hand, stunned for a long time. After that night, I never saw Jasper again. I only came across his updates online. It turned out that the important matter he mentioned was appearing together with Aurora, taking her to high-end restaurants, attending banquets, and making high-profile appearances at various events. While claiming to like me, he was cozying up with his ex-girlfriend. What a scumbag. Furious, I went on a spree with his credit card, buying a lot of things and even gifting a car to my best friend. My best friend was overjoyed and asked if Jasper had any other comatose brothers. She was ready to step in any time. I rolled my eyes at her. These past 2 days, I splurged like crazy, and Jasper must have received plenty of spending alerts, yet he didn't react at all. To keep myself from overthinking, I found a new job. It doesn't matter how trivial the paycheck is, I just want to kill time. No need to put up with being someone's subordinate like before. Now that I have money, I can just quit if I'm unhappy. That day, as I was just about to head home after work, I ran into Aurora. She quickly approached me and immediately started yelling at me. Scarlett, you bitch, it must be because of you that Jasper is ignoring me. I was completely dumbfounded. What did her breakup with Jasper have to do with me? Ignoring her, I turned to leave, but Aurora seemed to have gone berserk, rushing in front of me. Scarlett, say something. Where have you hidden Jasper? I thought Aurora was acting mentally unstable. If you're sick, go get treatment. Don't go crazy on the street. This seemed to provoke Aurora. She suddenly let out a loud scream and pushed me hard towards the road. Caught off guard, I was shoved into the middle of the street. Watching the cars heading straight for me, my mind went blank. At that moment, I thought I was done for. At the critical juncture, a force suddenly pushed me away, and I fell to the ground. When I got up, I saw Jasper lying in a pool of blood. My pupils shrank violently. After more than an hour, I stood outside the operating room, trembling uncontrollably. The image flashing through my mind was Jasper covered in blood. I couldn't imagine what I would do if he died. After I called the police, Aurora was taken away. If she hadn't tried to push me into the car, Jasper wouldn't have been hit trying to save me. The first to arrive upon receiving the news was Jasper's childhood friend, who happened to be nearby. He told me that a lot of things had happened in Jasper's family recently. It turns out that the car accident Jasper was involved in 2 years ago was orchestrated by his uncle, who aimed to seize control of Jasper's corporation. Jasper had actually woken up a year ago. The reason he pretended to be in a vegetative state was to avoid tipping off his uncle, allowing him to gather evidence of his uncle's crimes before making a decisive strike. He hadn't planned to wake up so soon and disrupt the plan, but that day, when he saw Aurora about to hit me, he couldn't keep up the act anymore. After breaking up with him, Aurora found a new boyfriend. However, that man treated her poorly, cheated her out of money, and even abused her, leading to her developing depression. That's why she came back to Jasper. Jasper and Aurora aren't real, he did it to protect you. If his uncle found out he cared about you, he would definitely use you to threaten him. Not only did Jasper's uncle orchestrate the car accident 2 years ago, but he also kept trying to kill him when he was in a vegetative state. While managing the company, he embezzled a lot of public funds, and with solid evidence, he's now been taken away by the police for investigation. Mother was furious when she found out. Her brother is truly inhuman. I understand now. That day, Jasper deliberately made me leave in anger. When my mother-in-law arrived at the hospital, Jasper had just come out of the emergency room. The doctor said the surgery was successful, but whether Jasper would wake up depended on fate, meaning there was a high chance he might become a vegetative state again. I shuddered. Upon hearing this devastating news, my mother-in-law nearly fainted and clung to me, sobbing. In the hospital room, I looked at Jasper lying on the bed, my nose tingling as tears streamed down my face. Darling, wake up. I know everything now. I'm not angry with you anymore. I'll forgive you as long as you wake up. Please, wake up, okay? If you don't wake up soon, I'll take your money and go find male models, just to piss you off. I collapsed over the hospital bed, sobbing so hard I could barely catch my breath. I said all sorts of things, alternating between coaxing and threats, not caring whether he could hear me or not. The truth was, I'd liked him for a long time, I just hadn't wanted to admit it before. Suddenly, a voice came from above my head. You look so ugly when you cry. I froze, staring at the man as his eyes slowly flickered open. I'll call the doctor. I blurted, my voice shaking with excitement. After a thorough examination, the doctor said Jasper is no longer in critical condition. When my mother-in-law found out Jasper had woken up, she held my hand and praised me as his lucky star, saying marrying me was a wise decision. I felt a bit guilty because, after all, Jasper ended up in this condition while trying to save me. When only the two of us were left in the hospital room, Jasper weakly said to me, things between Aurora and me weren't what you saw, it was all fake. I nodded and said, your friend has already told me everything. Your uncle is truly despicable. To kill your own nephew for the sake of profit, you're utterly deranged. Do you know how dangerous it was yesterday? With a little bad luck, you could have really died. Jasper looked at me. At first, I found you really annoying, you were like a chatterbox, and sometimes I just wanted to shut you up. But over time, I got used to hearing you talk every day. Sometimes when you're out, it feels too quiet, like something's missing. Scarlett, if you love money, I'll work hard to earn it for you. Just stay by my side obediently from now on, okay? Before I could answer him, Aurora's voice echoed from the doorway. Jasper, what did you say? As soon as Aurora appeared, Jasper's expression darkened. It was obvious without asking that her father had bailed her out. Aurora charged toward me, glaring furiously. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, Jasper wouldn't have been hurt. Scarlett, you're nothing but a jinx. Before I could speak, Jasper pulled out the 4-needle and got off the hospital bed, shielding me. Aurora, dare to hurt her and see what happens? I was terrified when I saw the blood on the back of his hand. Are you crazy? Aurora widened her eyes in disbelief. Jasper, how could you do this to me? Jasper pulled me behind him. Aurora, she's the one I want to protect. I won't allow anyone to harm her. If you dare lay a finger on her again, I won't let you off easy. Aurora cried out in grievance, don't you love me anymore? Jasper remained indifferent. Aurora, I stopped loving you long ago. It ended when we broke up 2 years ago. I didn't chase after you back then, it was on my way home from that when I had the car accident. Going on dates with you was just an act to put on a show for my uncle. Aurora glared at me fiercely. I didn't have time to deal with Aurora and hurried out to call for the doctor. By the time I returned to the ward, Jasper had already kicked Aurora out. He had even called Aurora's father to warn him not to interfere with Aurora's case again, or it would implicate the entire family. Over a month later, Jasper was discharged from the hospital. I followed him back to the Grand Villa, where the butler smiled and asked if I needed him to teach me how to navigate the house again. I blushed awkwardly. Jasper held my hand and said, no need. With me here, she won't need a guide. Mother-in-law was delighted to see Jasper treating me so well, proving she hadn't misjudged him back then. Jasper led me upstairs. I noticed the room was now filled with bags and jewelry, all bought by Jasper for me. Only then did I realize he had been thinking about me all this time, so secretively sweet. After dinner, Jasper took me out for a walk. As we strolled, he suddenly said to me, I still owe you something. What? I had barely asked when Jasper knelt on one knee, holding a diamond ring the size of a pigeon egg, clearly planning to propose. Scarlett, will you marry me? To be honest, the sight of that pigeon egg-sized diamond ring won me over. It must be worth a fortune, but I still had to play hard to get. Why hasn't she agreed yet? I've been kneeling for so long, don't I have any dignity left? Could she still be angry? I'm so terrible. Honey, I'm sorry. I blinked, as if I could hear his thoughts again. Immediately, a mischievous idea came to mind. What if I don't agree? Dream on. You're married to me now, so you're mine for life. Jasper grabbed my hand directly and slipped the diamond ring onto it. There. I'm speechless, I haven't even agreed to marry you yet, this is just you being unreasonable. Jasper said with great seriousness, we're already registered, this is just a formality. I asked, then do you love me? I love you to death. Come here, wifey, give me a kiss. Jasper said lightly, I even gave you a big diamond ring, isn't that obvious enough? I laughed myself silly. I just love watching him act like this, life won't be too boring from now on. I hugged him and planted a kiss on his lips. **, my wifey kissed me, my wifey loves me so much. Jasper, however, pretended to be serious and gently pushed me away, clearing his throat. Mind your manners in public. I gave him a few more kisses, I don't care, I just want to kiss you. At this point, Jasper couldn't hold back anymore and hugged me tightly. Honey, I love you. 2 weeks later, Jasper and I held a grand and magnificent wedding. Watching Jasper walk towards me, I finally realized at this moment that I wasn't opposed to marriage, it was just that I hadn't met the right person before. But now, I have.